fake? I don't think so, man. 40th? Cool. Hello. Welcome. Hello. Good way to start a stream. I agree. I agree. It's really the only way to start a stream. What's new? There's nothing new under the sun, man. It's all been said and done before. We're all just chasing a first that'll never happen, man. Yeah, I like that. I like my lord. I think I should start enforcing that as a rule here. You guys can no longer call me Paul anymore. You have to address me as my lord. Now, I don't like daddy because it implies some like responsibility on my part for all of you, and I don't like that. Lord just means I'm the boss. I like that. Excellency, I'm cool with that. Yeah, my pessimistic lord, I'm cool with all that. Yeah, any variation on that. But I think we need to start using those kind of terms of respect in here for me, because I don't think you guys respect my power and influence in this small space of the internet, guys. I'm the leader, okay? I'm the leader of this. You got it? And I feel profoundly disrespected by your constant fat jokes and gay jokes. Mundane Matt, yeah, dude, did you guys see that shit? Holy fuck, man. That was real, like, that was a true internet roasting. That was like old school ponage. That type of shit used to happen all the time in the old YouTube, but now it's really rare, you know what I mean, to see somebody, like for those of you that don't know, Mundane Matt, who you might remember, but probably don't remember as an infrequent guest on the Drunken Peasants back when I was on it, has been in this kind of back and forth battle with some of the more alt-rightish. I don't want to lump them all in because I know they're not all alt-right, but like the Kumite guys and like the Ralph Retort dude and Andy Worski and all this, right? He's been kind of like battling with them on YouTube. And people that have made videos against him, their videos get flagged, right? And people have accused Mundane Matt for a very long time of being a flagger, a guy that's going out, a Keemstar, sure, or whatever. I don't even know where he fits into this, but he was there. Anyway, long story short, people have been accusing Mundane Matt for a long time of like false flagging shit that he doesn't like. And he has vehemently denied it. You know, Mundane Matt, if you pay attention to his content, which once again, you probably don't because he's Mundane Matt, but he's a big free speech advocate. Like a super, like he's always like, you know, don't flag people. I don't flag people. You shouldn't flag people. You should just let speech happen and blah, 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 blah. You know, he's one of those guys. Well, they had him on a stream with a bunch of people that were against him. So I guess the only kudos he gets is going into a stream like that, one man against an ocean. But here's why you don't do that. So at some point, somebody pipes up during the night and they're discussing whether or not he's flagging people. And he's denying it and lying and saying, I've never flagged anybody, that's ridiculous, blah, 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 blah. Somebody goes, you know, there's a tool where you can show like the people that you flagged on your account. And Mundane Matt's like, what? And he goes, yeah, YouTube's, it's kind of hard to find, but if you go through the menus, and he goes, here, I'll give you a link to it. So he gives him a link to this thing, and literally, you click on the link, and it takes you to a page that shows every video that you've ever reported, when you reported it, and the reason that you gave for reporting it. And the guy brings his up, and there's one video there that's like porn or some shit. And he's like, here's mine. He screen shares it. Here's mine. He's like, why don't you show yours real quick, Matt, and just let's put this all to rest, dude. If that thing is empty, we're all good. And Mundane Matt goes, all right, but nothing shows up. And he's like, well, when are you gonna screen share? So I'm reading. And the guy's like, well, what do you need to read? You clicked on the link and it took you to the thing, right? Just go ahead and put up the screen share so we can see what you've been doing. It just took me to another thing and I'm reading. You have to go through it at the thing. I'm reading. Hold on. Dude, it was like 10 minutes. It was like no joke. He stalled out for like 10 minutes, wouldn't send a screenshot, wouldn't screen share. So people were obviously like, okay. So he's going through one by one and erasing a bunch of this shit. That's what he's doing. Because I guess there is a way in there where you can go and like retract a report. So they're sitting there like, you know, like obviously you're going back and you're erasing all this stuff. And then finally Mundane Matt goes like, okay, I'm about to do like a really big thing. It's gonna be really bad for me, but all right, I'm screen sharing. And he screen shares his shit and it's just pages of people that are in that room and friends of people that are in that room, people that are on that side of the discussion. Just video after video after video, flag, 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 flag. He only showed the first page. There were multiple pages. He didn't scroll down. And the first page had Andy Worski, some other dude on it, the guys from the Kumite, fucking Tonka Saw, and Failure. The dude was literally caught, like, in the same stream. He spent an hour vehemently denying that he ever flagged a person ever on YouTube. Just lying. Swear to God, dude, never flagged anybody. Swear to God, don't even use the tool. Swear to God, dude, it's not me. Swear to God this. Swear to God that. Swear to God this. And this motherfucker was just a flagging nightmare. Just a list of all his enemies, all his detractors, and just flagging all their videos. And he only, like I said, he only showed us the first page. He'll never recover from that, guys. Like, I'm just telling you, this is a dude that's built his whole life around having an internet career. If you know anything about Mundane Matt, you know he quit his job. He does this full time. He has a kid. He had a kid on this. He bought a fucking house. He owns a house on his YouTube income. He has a kid on his YouTube income. His YouTube career is over. He will never, ever recover from that. That will follow him till the end of his days. He will bleed subscribers till the end of his days. There's nothing you can do. There's literally nothing you can do in that situation. You have just like revealed yourself to be such a lying fucking weasel. And then he stayed in, like, he didn't have the good sense to just disappear out of the fucking chat and then disappear from the internet. He stays in there and he makes excuses for the flagging. And the excuses include his mental health. I was in a bad place, guys. I allowed things to get under my skin. I was contemplating suicide. So that made you flag people? I've attempted suicide twice. You know how many people I flagged on the way? 0. Just a fucking total void, dude. There's no way he recovers from that. There's no way. You just don't. He looked so weak. They actually got him to say, and I shit you not, he says this so that they can cut it up and use it as a drop. Because they said that this would, because he was so desperate for them to forgive him for what he'd done. Like, at one point, Mr. Medicare goes, say, I'm a fat soy-filled bitch who flags your videos. Say, I'm sorry, I'm a fat soy-filled bitch who flags videos. And at first he goes, I'm sorry I flagged the videos. And then Medicare goes, no, say what I said. And Mundane Matt, I shit you not, opens his mouth and goes, I'm sorry I'm a fat soy-filled bitch who flagged your videos. I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh my God. I've never seen somebody self-immolate. So, well, maybe not never. but it's very rare to see somebody throw fucking oil over their head like a Buddhist monk and just light it up on the internet. It's just, and he did that. I mean, without the noble fucking backing. He just literally, just literally fucking completely evaporated over the course of 1 hour of a stream. Just completely disappeared as a person that's ever going to be able to like maintain an audience and make money on the internet. Like his name is out there too, so everybody knows his name is Matt Jarbo. Like he's put his face out there, his brand is him. He's fucked. Like he's fucked. He's done. It's over for him. 100% over. I don't know that Matt's an SJW, but he definitely tends towards that end. Like a lot of the stuff that he did that got him on the wrong side of people, and when he became kind of a lolcow for them was during, I guess that you guys might not even remember it because I barely remember that Kilroy shit. I think Jeff Doc's Holiday was one of the people that was pushing it, and Mundane Matt was another one. And it ended up being this like really fucking big shit show of a conference where barely any people at it. Big successful thing. Like there's this smug ass video of Jeff Holiday lounging in a fucking hot tub, and he's like sipping shit. Sorry. Flagged by Jeff Holiday, dude. No, I'm kidding. I just got a phone call, dude. I just got a phone call. Yeah, no. So anyway, let me get back to where I was. So Jeff Holiday had this smug ass video where he's lounging. He's fucking straight up lounging in like a hot tub, and he's like sipping champagne and shit. And he's like, it's been really interesting watching the kerfluffle on Twitter about Kilroy. And well, I know a lot of people are saying it's a terrible event, and I just want to say I agree. It's just horrible. You can see you can see I'm just having a horrible time here at Kilroy. I'm just having a horrible time, You can see him sitting in a nice hot tub, that's terrible, And then there's a couple of people chilling out here, too, that were also at Kilroy, so, oh, yeah. It's just like, are you fucking serious right now, dude? Is this real? Are you being real right now? You being real right now? So Mundane Matt was doing the same kind of stuff where he was like going on these detractor streams, right? All these people that were making fun of Kilroy for the small turnout and the shitty content and shit. And the fucking septuagenarian security guards that were there and all this bullshit. So Mundane Matt, instead of doing that kind of shit, was doing the like, oh, I'll go out there and face the detractors. So he'd go on all these streams and they'd present him with all these pictures and facts, and he would just like, he was just flabbergasted. He'd have nothing to say. He wanted to remain all positive about Kilroy and make it seem like it was a big successful thing that everybody was having a lot of fun at. But then they'd be like, why are there only 3 people in this room? And he'd be like, yeah, no, some of the conferences are less attended. There's a lot of choices here at Kilroy, so there's some very niche. They're like, what about this one? Didn't you think this one was going to be a big one? There's only like 15 people in this room. Well, you got to understand that the people presenting are also part of the audience. So if they had been out there, and then it's like, wait a minute. Like the final count of Kilroy includes all the presenters, and that's an important part to filling a room at Kilroy is the people that are there to present. I guess you could say that. It's just like, oh my God, dude. Just a meme. It's like a sad meme. Oh yeah, dude. I'd let Lacey do whatever she wanted. I'd just give her my body and mind to do whatever she wants with. She wants to just shoot me in the head, I'd be fine with that. No, I've got a thing for Lacey Green, dude. I think she's cute. So, what do you want me to do? I can't help it. Her voice is not the greatest. Her voice is not the greatest, but her personality and her imperfect, crookedy kind of little smile thing that she does, she's just, I don't know, dude. She's got a real thing. She's got a real aura about her. So it's basically the anti-SJW version of DashCon. I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything about DashCon, so yeah, I don't like Jeff Holiday either. But I cringed my way through watching Jeff Holiday's recent video behind the scenes, and it was a bunch of obvious. I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to shit on Jeff Holiday's content. I'm just saying the shit that he did during Kilroy was douche factor 5, man. He was carrying around this 360-degree camera, right? That his phone clearly didn't have. I mean, most phones probably don't have the data to push that much shit out, so it just looked like absolute garbage for the people watching it. And he literally walked around this sparsely populated event with little clusters of people sitting here and there, and would walk into their conversation and set down the 360 cam, and they'd be like, are you streaming? And he'd be like, oh yeah, it's a 360-degree camera, you know, so people at home, and he'd show them, like, can scroll through and see all the way around them. And people would be like, oh, all right. And then he'd just go, all right, see you guys later. And he'd go to the next fucking little group of people and sit the fucking 360 cam down. And they'd be like, oh, what's that? And he'd be like, oh, it's a 360-degree camera. Yeah, it's 2 fisheye lenses, so it films everything around us, you know, so the people at home can go and scroll all the way around. And they're like, oh, all right. And he'd be like, well, cool, see you guys later. It's like, aren't you an internet personality? Don't you know how to interview people and shit? Don't you, like, do live streams and stuff sometimes? Like, what is that? Did you think that, like, people were going to want to watch for hours as you explained what a 360-degree camera was over and over again? Cringe factor 5, dude. I mean, I don't know, dude. What's my opinion of MMA? I don't watch it, so I'll reserve any uninformed opinion. I mean, I've seen a few events of it. I really don't like it. It's a little, you know, whatever. I'm kind of I guess I'm a pussy. It's a little brutal for me. I don't like seeing people's arms get broken and see people get kicked in the face so hard that their eye explodes and they get knocked out. I'm just like, all right, you know, I can understand why dudes are into it, but I don't like watching people getting hurt. Like, I can't even watch those compilations of people like falling off their skateboards and shit. I get this empathy pain that's just like, fuck, I can't watch an ankle break. I can't do it, dude, because I've broken bones and, like, I've been injured horribly and I know what it feels like. So I'm just like, I can't. I get this rush of like, oh, it just. So yeah, I mean, you do it for fun, go for it, dude. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You notice I didn't criticize it there. I just said I can't watch it because I don't like watching people get kicked in the face so hard their cheekbones break and shit. Just not my fucking bag. I got other things that I can fill my brain and time with. Does seeing that stuff in games make it different for? Yeah, games are different. Like, if I know it's fake, like in a movie, it's not the same thing. Like, I can watch all that shit happen in a movie because I know, I mean, the logical part of my brain knows that shit didn't really happen. So I can watch all that shit in, like, martial arts movies where a dude, like, blocks a punch and then breaks the dude's arm. I don't go like, ah. You know, I can watch all that gore and shit without feeling that same feeling. But when I'm watching the actual compilations of people, like, snapping their ankle or, you know, breaking an arm or whatever the fuck, I'm just like, I can't do it. Yeah, games are the same thing. Like games are probably even easier. Like movies can still get under my skin in that cringy kind of like don't want to watch it way. Games, it's really hard for them to get there. Only a few games do it. Like if you ever seen footage of me playing Alien Isolation back in the day on Twitch, I think it was somebody made a supercut of like me just fucking terrified of that alien. And yeah, dude, that was not, I wasn't playing that up for Twitch views and shit. I was legitimately like terrified by that game. But, you know, I set the environment. I sat around in a really dark room and I'm really genuinely like xenomorphs are under my skin in a big way, so I'm already scared of them and I know what they're like. So it's like the monster has a special significance to me already. Yeah, that's a great game, but man, I can't imagine playing a game like Alien Isolation in VR. I don't think I could handle it, honestly. Like these horror games, especially like one like Alien Isolation in VR would be just terrifying. I haven't played Shadow of Mordor. I liked the first one, whatever it was. I played it a little bit. I never beat it, but yeah, I haven't played the next one. I've got so many games to play. Like right now, I'm trying to stop myself from buying Monster Hunter World. I really want it, but I have so many fucking video games that I haven't played. Like I want to play through all the Batman like Arkham games because I just got done just here and there in my free time playing through the two Telltale Batman games. So whatever the first one is, and then the sequel, Enemy Within, dude, I had a fucking blast playing those games, man. I love those Telltale games, but the Batman one might be my favorite of the bunch so far. Um, but I actually picked up Arkham Knight. I think that's what it's called, right? Arkham Knight or whatever it is. The latest of in the free roaming Batman. Um, thing. I recently picked that up in a Steam sale, like the summer sale. It was like $9 or some shit with all the DLC, so I got it. But I have the other two. I've played through Arkham Asylum, so I can set that one aside. But I've never played through Arkham City or Arkham Knight. It's if people, you know, like I'll look into it, and if most people say that Arkham Knight is shitty, then I probably won't play through it. But I still want to play through City. What's up? What's up, Galen? How you doing, man? How's life, dude? We need to. I was telling Steve the other day, Galen, that we need to once everybody's settled and shit, which it looks like we're getting pretty close to being. We need to just book out this movie room over here and throw a big ass barbecue in my at my pad that on one of these afternoons where people can swim if they want, and then we've got that movie room rented, and we'll just play a whole fucking. We'll just keep a curated list of great movies going so people can come and go as they please, tune in, tune out as they please, and then they can just use the pool, and we'll rent out the grills out there and just barbecue up and like have all the family and friends over and shit. Make a big deal out of it. I'm gonna need your help though. I can't chef at all, man. I'm gonna need you there for balance and help with the fucking grilling and shit. Yeah, why doesn't Galen have a wrench? I should make sure Galen, knowing Galen, he probably won't use it, but it'll make it easier for me to see him. And it'll, keep him from being restricted. Oh, sweet, dude, yeah, that'd be beautiful. Yeah, if you make some sides and shit, and then just help me here and there tend the different meats and stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do, honestly. Um, I gotta kind of try and plan out what I think would be a good menu for everybody, just in terms of the principal like proteins and shit that I'll be cooking. I don't know, probably just some steaks and some burgers and shit. But if you like Batman and you haven't played those fucking Telltale Batman games, get them. They kind of reinvent the Batman story, so you got to be willing to kind of set aside what you know about Batman. But I think they do. Dude, I'd love to see a movie like that. Like, I think that storyline made into like a big budget film would be so fucking cool, and it would totally reinvent the relationship between Batman and the Joker, or at least explain it in a way that I haven't seen it done. It does that for a lot of the villains, Mr. Freeze and Catwoman and Harley Quinn and all of these, Bane, all this shit. Yeah, I haven't played Dead Cells. Yeah, it's really neat, man. I think anybody that likes Batman would enjoy it. And really, they're kind of linear games that give you the illusion of choice, but they do track your choices, and the story subtly changes based on how you played the first game if you play into the second. So it's cool, like that. Favorite Batman villain? I mean, I hate to be, a bandwagoner, but I really do like the Joker. I don't know that he's my favorite. I was never a big DC guy, so I don't have, the background with a lot of these villains. But the one that always stuck out, well, one of them that always stuck out to me was, oh fuck, what was his name? Not Bane, but Doomsday. I like Doomsday, the guy that killed Superman. He just seemed cool. Seemed like they came up with a really good dude to like actually be the guy that can break Superman. Hey.
Fucking CJ is at home.
No, he isn't.
Yeah.
Chia J.
What's he doing? Do you want this now or later?
Later, I guess. Thank you, baby.
Okay, I'll go put it in the fridge.
Yeah, go put it in the fridge. You didn't beat up Superman, Lord Zayden. You're a liar. Well, whatever. Like I said, I didn't read the comics a whole lot, so if he was a bland character, I just liked the look of him. I never really enjoyed the DC villains all that much. I was a Marvel guy, so I wouldn't know much about Doomsday outside of the promotional materials and the few panels that I've read of, him killing Superman and shit. I like Mr. Freeze. I like him. He's good. Yeah, Mr. Freeze, I don't know, dude. He seems kind of dorky as a villain to me. He just seems I don't know. Like, he just seems dorky. He seems one-dimensional. He's like, oh, I'm in love with this woman and I've gone crazy trying to save her. It's like, all right, is there any other dimension to your character? No. Well, what does your character do? I became ice because it's so cold, because my heart is so cold without the woman that I love that I would do anything to save, that drove me to madness. It's like, oh. All right, next.
Get down. Jumping up on me like a damn hooligan.
Hey,
Down.
just put him inside if he's being a dick. Like, put him
I don't
inside.
mind- I don't mind-
Put him inside.
I don't mind him being out here. I just don't want him jumping on me.
Well, then put him inside. If he's being an asshole repeatedly, put him inside.
Okay.
Otherwise, everybody chill.
Go. Dynamite, go inside.
Get in there.
Go.
Get in there. He's been an asshole to me today, too. I'm tired of it.
Alright.
Sick of his bullshit.
Yeah, I know the feeling. How are you?
All right.
How's the chat?
The chat's okay today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Surprising.
I'd say the tism levels are at about a yellow or whatever,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's probably reasonable danger of a massive outbreak of tism, but it's not red, you know? We're
Yeah.
not looking at
I
wildfire.
feel ya. Not
Yeah.
yet.
Yellow tism levels are it's pretty average, you know? It's very rare, like, every once in a while I'll get a stream where, like, tism levels are in the green, and it's, like, green, you know, there's no... I don't know, but most of the time I do these in yellow tism level.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. Yeah, people are doing all right. You know what I mean? Tell Ashley I want Frank Horrigan to vor her. Okay.
Who?
Frank Horrigan, I guess.
I don't even know who that is.
All right.
And no.
I told her that. DB better. DB better. Keep telling you. See, but now that we're talking about them, they're getting worse. See, when you talk about the chat, you empower the chat, and the tism levels are accelerated.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it's not your fault. I do it all the time, too. It knows, yeah, it knows.
Apologize.
But I have things that I can do. Like right now, I'd really rather not let the tism level get out of hand. And I have an old trick that I know, I think, oh man, did they take it away? That's really sad.
What?
No, never mind. I have an old trick that I know that is known to calm the tism.
Yeah?
So I've turned it on. And
Kool-Aid pickles are trending.
and all of see what happens is that all of the tism that they want to put into the chat goes into these bubbles, and then it floats away. See? I can swat it away.
What?
See what happens? The bubbles. Shoo, get out of here.
Oh.
Shoo.
Oh.
Shoo.
Gotcha.
See, I do this. So it's a trap.
Dude.
Hmm.
Somebody asked for like the weirdest, like, well, they didn't ask for something weird, but the reason was weird. All right, so get this.
Okay.
Some girl comes in. I don't know, probably like 19 or so, and she just comes up to the bar, doesn't order anything, and says, "Can I have your largest cup?" And I was like, "Okay. Do you need a lid?" And she's like, "No, I don't need a lid." And she's like kind of giggling, and she's like, "There's this thing on Twitter where they're putting puppies in cups." And I gave her this weirdest look. I was like,
What?
like literally, I literally gave her the look of "you're insane."
Because she is. What is that even? What?
And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, it's like a small puppy. Like he can fit in it." I was like, "What?" People on Twitter are putting their dogs into Starbucks cups now? Like,
We're doomed.
can anybody confirm that this is a thing for me? Because one of my coworkers was like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that." I was like, "What?" Like, I'm on Twitter all the time and I haven't heard about Starbucks puppies.
It's over.
Is it just Starbucks though, or is it like also like any cup? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
like, I don't-
You're asking. I don't know.
I'm trying to ask these people if these guys know anything.
I don't know. Who cares? I mean, like, fuck. Like, even if it is a thing, who cares?
I don't know. It was just weird. I'm sorry.
No. Don't be sorry. I'm just saying, like, it's just maddening that that's what people are spending their time doing. Like, so she went all the way to a Starbucks to get a cup to put her dog in it so she could hopefully get, like, one retweet on Twitter.
Yes.
What a retard. What an utter waste of time.
That is literally what happened.
What an utter waste of time and energy. That poor dog.
Oh, I misspelled puppy.
I just cringe to think of all the things that poor dog will be subjected to over its life so that its owner can get 2 likes on Twitter. Time for put whipped cream all over your dog's head day. Look, I made my dog into a sundae. 2 likes. It's dress up your dog like a vampire day. Check it out. My little dog is a vampire. 3 likes. What a profoundly sad way to spend your life and your energy. What the
I mean,
fuck?
that's like what it is for these kids, though. It's all about them likes, dude.
Ridiculous. Yet they're not willing to do anything other than what everybody else is doing to get them.
Yeah.
Like, they don't understand that the people that get a lot of likes and shit are the people that are thinking of these things in the first place and doing them first.
Yeah.
So maybe, like, get smart and stuff so that you can think of
So you can
crazy
actually,
ideas in your head
Yeah.
and stuff, and then put them out and be the first person and stuff to put out the fucking good idea and stuff. So then you're not vamping off of, like, 2 little likes that's left in the dry titty. You're actually putting something new out there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old guy with my old ways. But getting smart is hard, and just liking things and doing what everybody else is doing is easy. No shit. All these people with these ambitions and stuff that think that they're gonna climb the ladder by just copying somebody else. Eesh. That is so sad. Hey, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, what's up? It's me, Johnny fucking Bland, here with another fucking video that you've seen a million times, done a million different ways by a million different people just like me.
But like mine.
It's like,
I can't find anything about this. At least not on Twitter. Put dog in cup.
just let it, like, you're allowing the tism to infect you. You're letting this woman make you one of her. You're looking for dogs in cups on Twitter
I
now.
just wanted to know if it's actual.
See? You've been infected by the mind worm. Just pull it out of your ear and throw it away. It's stupid. It's what happens when you let the general population on the internet. This challenge shit never happened back in the day when the internet was underground. All right, dude, that's edgy. It did. I mean, people were doing stupid shit on the internet back in the day.
Somebody put a dog in the Stanley Cup.
I don't want any more updates on the cup dogs.
Okay.
I just don't.
Okay.
I'm not infected with the mind worm. Oh, God, yeah. You are seeming to enjoy the puppies and cups. You've become one of them.
I'm just
Sleeping.
looking.
I'm sleeping with the enemy, dude.
I'm just looking to see if it was
Dude, she's
real.
become one of them. She's over there giggling at puppies and cups
I'm
now.
not. I
She's probably
can't-
thining about if we've got a
I
cup
can't
big enough to
even
stuff
find
Dinor in.
any. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I can't find
You said-
dogs in cups.
Said you just found a dog in the Stanley Cup.
That was the only thing I found was
Well,
a dog in a Stanley
I
Cup.
bet this
from
dumb
5
bitch is
days
in the
ago.
replies of that. Go look in the replies of that.
It was like an article online. It wasn't even a tweet. So I don't know what this is that she's even talking
Dude, maybe
about.
she doesn't even know the platform she's using. Maybe she's like a teacher that thinks that Twitter is the same thing as Pinterest. You know what I mean? Or Facebook.
Okay, somebody in the chat sent me something.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the beginning of it.
See, why are you so interested in this? Why are you digging so deep? It's puppies and cups, dude. It's cuppies.
You're accusing me of
Dude,
something
look for
completely
hashtag
wrong.
cuppies, dude.
No.
Look for hashtag cuppies.
No.
I bet that's where it is, dude. I bet it's under hashtag cuppies.
No. I am not.
Burn the world, I agree. I agree. I agree, man. Thoughts on Mundane Matt? I mean, if you want to see that, look at the beginning of this. I spent like a half an hour making fun of him at the beginning of this and recapping the whole thing for people, so. Have Ashley look up Lemon Party. I think Ashley's been on the internet long
Yeah.
enough to know not to go to lemonparty.org.
Yeah, I've been
Tired of
there a lot.
Obama's sour lies? Join the lemon party. The trend is on Instagram. Okay. Well, there it is. I
Okay.
was right. She was a
Of
dumb bitch
course.
that didn't know the difference between Twitter and Instagram. Hashtag cuppies. You're helping Ashley delve deeper into this. She's like a fucking detective. She'll never let go until she finds out the truth. We see your shirt. It's just the Hulk, and it says always angry. There you go. That's my shirt. I got this at a weeaboo convention at one of the stalls. And I got a bunch of cool shirts. I think I got 2 or 3 shirts at that stall. They were all like done by the same person. Yeah, it's a cool shirt. Why is the text the wrong way around? Because for some reason, YouTube thinks I want to mirror and doesn't give me a chance. Maybe there's a setting in my camera settings that I could switch. I'll look into it, but for some reason, YouTube just automatically mirrors everything I do when I do these live streams. So, just gotta read it backwards.
Okay, TJ just headed home now, so I'm gonna.
You gonna vamonos?
Yep, I'm gonna Domino's.
All right. Can you bring FUD too?
What kind of FUD do you want?
I don't know. I kind of feel like something like not heavy and shit. My stomach is fucked up, and I kind of want to start eating better.
Get a sandwich from McAllister?
Yeah, a sandwich or like a salad or something from Chipotle would be good too.
Oh, a salad from Chipotle? I could do that.
Or a burrito bowl. I don't want the whole fucking giant burritos. Just like a bowl or a salad or whatever the fuck.
Well, a salad is like a burrito bowl, except instead of
rice you get. Yeah, I want
lettuce.
that. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I can do that.
That's cool. Thank you, baby.
Do you want him to stay in or out?
You can let him out here again.
Okay. All right.
He's been in timeout long enough. Are you gonna chill, bud?
I love you.
I love you too. Your wife is hot. Thanks, bro. She's not my wife, but. Paul, do you like Pomimon? No, man. I don't like Pomimons. I wanna ye the bardy dest. Babona nebado. Bum 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 det shing badondy dest. Patody lo philo. Bomimon. I've never played a Persona game. I wanted to play Persona 4, and I actually considered at one point getting and this is real bad, but I didn't do it, so you can't make fun of me for it. But I was actually thinking about it. I had some money saved up, and I could afford a video game console, right? And I wanted to get a new video, because I was still playing like a PS3 or some shit, and it was time, to join the next generation. And I actually considered getting a PSP, just so I could play, or not a PSP, but a PS Vita, the handheld PlayStation shit, just so I could play Persona 4 Golden on it. But I never did. I didn't get it. Yeah, the Vita looked pretty awesome. I mean, it just didn't have it never took off enough to get a lot of great games and shit. Yeah. I ended up getting a Wii U instead, which may not have been much better of an investment, but I had a lot of fun. I still do. I still play my Wii U. So I was able to get Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate on it, which is really the game that I wanted to play, so better investment than a Vita, yeah, probably. What games games does your... I don't have a wife. I'm not married. She's my girlfriend. And she plays... what's she been playing recently? She started playing Warframe with her friend Krista recently. I play Warframe too sometimes, every once in a while. She plays Heroes of the Storm with me quite a bit. Outside of that, she played Slime Rancher recently and liked that a lot. She likes The Sims. The bubbles, the bubbles. What does your widow do for fun? Do you like RTS, real-time strategy games? Yes, I do. Can you marry my cousin? Go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Yeah, the bubbles aren't working very well today. The tism's getting worse. It's building. I've done this. I've created this somehow. I'm gonna search inward and find out what I did to provoke this tism fit. Because it's gone completely off the rails. Nobody's talking about anything interesting anymore. Who or what do you think should regulate the internet regarding censorship? The government. Just like they regulate the speech of other corporations, they should regulate how Twitter deals with its users so that people are not unduly denied access to what has become a ubiquitous platform of communication between public figures and constituents, corporations and customers. It's too important to be able to do to take away something. It's like, I likened it recently to taking away somebody's phone back in the 80s because they cussed somebody out over the phone once. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like, it's restrictive to take away somebody's ability to talk to people. Twitter and platforms like it have become the new public square. And there are people that fight that tooth and nail. They don't want to admit the truth of it, but it is the truth. The new public square is Twitter, and to a lesser extent after that, Facebook. And we really need to start thinking about why and how we can deny people access to that, because it really is akin to just slapping a bullhorn out of somebody's mouth in the public square now. This is how people communicate. This is how we not only communicate with one another, but it's how politicians communicate with constituents. It's how corporations communicate with customers. It's not something that we can just throw away and go, well, it's a private company, so they can ban anybody they want. That doesn't fly anymore. The President of the United States uses it every day to communicate policy to the people that elected him. And you're telling me that you can allow Twitter to just deny people access to that? Bullshit. It's long overdue that the government step in and apply public free speech regulation or something like it to Twitter and these large multinational fucking communication platforms. The sooner it happens, the better for everybody. And that's it. And there are people that are very, very guarded about, private rights, and I understand that you're kind of trampling on the private rights of the people that own and operate Twitter to establish this, and I get that. I get that. They're a privately held company, but you know what? The government has a storied history of regulating privately held companies and telling them what they can and can't say or do. It's part of what the government does. The government regulated the tobacco industry and told them that they couldn't put billboards outside of high schools anymore, and told them that they couldn't use cool cartoon characters to advertise their shit, in a clear violation of their freedom of speech and expression, because the government has to regulate corporate speech. The government made laws that had corporations have to put nutritional information on the side of their packaging in a uniform way. The government stepped in and told these corporations how they had to decorate the outside of their box in a clear violation of their corporate free speech. Yet we all agree that those things need to exist. Those regulations help to protect people from having their own rights violated, from bodily harm. Okay? So why is Twitter exempt from that same thing when what they trade in is speech? They're not. They're not. I mean, why else do we have a government if not to protect us as private citizens from having our rights as they are enumerated in the Constitution trampled upon? You cannot tell me that it is not a detriment to a human being to have their Twitter account taken away in this fucking society. You just can't tell me that. The President of the United States communicates policy every day on Twitter. Every day. Almost exclusively. To deny people the right to interact with that and respond to it and petition the president for redress of their grievances on this platform that he uses that's publicly available. You're not gonna convince me that that's not an infringement of that person's right. And yeah, that right may not be enumerated, but that's what I'm advocating for. I'm advocating for an expansion of First Amendment protections to the internet because it's the new way that we communicate with one another. And the sooner that happens, the better for everybody. Really, Twitter, there's other ways to get the news. Yeah, well, people ain't using it. Turn on the news and count how many seconds go by before Twitter is mentioned, if you want to have that argument defeated out of hand. Twitter is ubiquitous. Twitter makes the news and allows the people to make news. You're not gonna convince me that that's the same, that those things are equivocal. They're not. Sorry, buddy. Next. You don't use Twitter? Well, good for you. Twitter has 350 million users as of right now. That'll probably be 400 million by the end of the year. It is a globally ubiquitous platform that's used by almost every politician of note, not just in this country, but in every country in the world, at least the Western world. And you're going to tell me it's not an important tool of communication between community leaders and the communities that they lead? You're fucking wrong, man. I don't care that you don't personally use it. Your anecdotal example of a dude, I'm about to walk away from Twitter. So I'm going to be a guy that doesn't use it. But I'm walking away from Twitter because I feel that it's a platform that's being restrictive to people's right to freely express themselves on the internet. A right that needs to be enumerated, and I'm not going to continue to feed a platform with my fucking content that doesn't enshrine that in some way. Period. Where would you guys move to? I'll probably go to Gab or something. I don't know. If I do anything at all. You know? I believe very strongly about this. I see the writing on the wall. I think the writing has been on the wall for a bunch of years that the internet needs some fucking major regulation when it comes to personal freedoms and freedom of expression, freedom of speech. It all needs to be enshrined because this is how we communicate with one another now. We use this tool And to just say that private corporations have the right to silence anybody that they want and stop them from speaking anytime they want, I think is a profound trampling of our First Amendment protections. And the sooner we address it, the better. Because it's getting worse. It's getting more restrictive. It's becoming a more insular club. It's becoming a cult of fucking agreement. It's not. Take a look around, dude. It's like the government stepping in during the days of Jim Crow and creating laws and regulations that said that private business owners could not put a no blacks sign, could not deny blacks service based on the color of their skin. That's something that had to be enumerated. And in some people's minds, and I would tend to agree, it was a curtailing of the rights of those business owners to do what they want with their property. But it was necessary in order to enshrine personal freedoms. The same shit applies here. You cannot have a fucking platform where corporations, public officials, public figures of every fucking stripe mix and match and interact with the dregs of society in a big public arena and tell me you're not removing an option from somebody that they should have. You can't take away their speech. You just can't. Not in that arena. That's like walking out onto the street corner and slapping a bullhorn out of somebody's mouth. You can't do that. You can't do it. And there were people, there are people. I'm currently arguing with a dude on fucking Reddit about this shit, on the fucking DFF subreddit. And it's a good argument. He's actually arguing in good faith, which is rare. But he keeps trying to hearken like my banning of people out of this shit with Twitter taking away somebody's speech, right? The day that fucking Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump and every other fucking politician all the way down to the mayor level and the local assembly level are using my Highdeology chat to communicate policy to their constituency, along with every other fucking corporation on the planet redressing grievances using my platform, the day that happens, I'll gladly stop banning you fucking assholes out of here. But until then, this is my house. This is my little corner. If you don't see the difference between that and Twitter, I don't know what to do to you, man. I don't know how to communicate the idea any clearer than I just did. Silly you had to communicate that to begin with. I agree, but it's part of the argument here. That people out there are very, very protective of this idea of government regulating corporations or what they perceive as the freedom of speech of the people that run a corporation. But that is just there's a storied tradition of that in this country because it's absolutely necessary. Because if you want, dude, the interests of a corporation are oftentimes completely adverse to the interests of the public. That's why it has to be regulated. That's why we have to tell cigarette companies not to put ads for their fucking death out in front of schools trying to get kids to smoke it. That's why we have to tell them to stop doing that. Because their freedom of speech and expression damages the rest of us in the public. The same goes for Twitter. If they're going to have a platform that is used by every corporation and public figure to redress the grievances of their constituency or their customer base, then they have a duty to make sure that people have easy access to that shit. Period. They have a duty to make sure that if somebody's access to that shit is removed, it is for good reason. They have a duty to not send people canned email responses when they appeal being banned. They have a duty to have somebody on staff looking at that shit and actual human minds applying law to that shit. Not just a Twitter TOS that changes with the blowing wind. You understand me? Period. Paul, the government split up the telephone companies in the 70s. Those separated companies are now ISPs that are reconsolidating into a monopoly. Yes, that's true. There has to be a better long-term solution. No, you're absolutely right. I actually advocate for internet access being considered a utility that someone can't live without. So in this country, in order to live, there are regulations that prevent you from living in a house that doesn't have that's within the city limits, that's not connected to the electrical grid, because electricity is seen as a utility that a person has to have access to in order to live a modern life. The internet needs to be treated in the same way. And in fact, I think it needs to be treated even more delicately, because electricity is one thing, freedom of speech is another. I think that the internet should be something that is available to every single person on the planet freely. I think that fast, reliable internet service should be something that is not that you don't have to haggle with between a million different companies. If you're a citizen of this country, you should have access to the internet, because if you don't, you're at a profound disadvantage. You're at a profound disadvantage in this culture and in this country if you don't have access to it. So we have to start treating it like running water. It needs to be looked at as a utility, not a luxury. It's no longer a luxury. When I was a kid, the internet was a luxury because not everybody was using it. It was a cool little thing that you could have access to if you wanted. Now, it's not that. It needs to be looked at like running water and flushing toilets, as something that's necessary to have a home. Okay? And as soon as that water's not free here either. We pay taxes, we pay water fucking fees. But you know what? It's guaranteed that if you get an apartment somewhere, you turn on the faucet and there's water. You flush a toilet in an apartment, it goes down. Anywhere that you rent in the United States, that's true. There are laws prescribing that. We need to append those laws with internet access. And it needs to be provided in a fucking either easily affordable package or a completely gratis package. And it needs to be funded by taxpayers. This idea that we can continue to allow, like, if you want further proof that this needs to happen, take a look at South Korea. Go to South Korea and get on the internet. Their internet speeds and infrastructure are out of this world. It's like next generation times 2 for us. We are crawling in this country because these companies have no incentive to reinvest any of their money. They just want to keep paying out fat corporate bonuses with their money. They don't want to reinvest in infrastructure, so they don't want to upgrade all this old fucking frayed out copper wiring and shit that they've been using for the last 20 years, because why the fuck would they? So we're suffering compared to the rest of the world with shit fuck internet speeds, because we allow corporations to sit on their laurels and pretend that this is now a luxury, that they can fucking regulate themselves. No, it is time for the government to take some of that tax money that they're spending on ridiculous bullshit in the military, bring it back home, create some jobs, and redo America's internet infrastructure, top to bottom, so that every home and every municipality in America has access to fast, reliable internet service. Period. That's exactly what Cameron. That's exactly why the companies can't be trusted, and why the government needs to step up and start asserting itself here. The government did pay for the new internet infrastructure, and the companies took it and did nothing because they wanted to pay out those fat corporate bonuses. It's more important to them that they pay out their fat bonus than for you to come home and have reliable internet that's fast. In this country where you're at a profound disadvantage if you don't have a reliable internet connection. It's time to do something, folks. It's time for that to change. And I'm always going to be an advocate for that. You're not going to change my mind. Lots of places only hire online. Absolutely true. Ashley's job, she works at a Starbucks. She had to fill out her application online. If she didn't have an internet connection, she couldn't work at that Starbucks. She just wouldn't have access to that as a job. The loan application that we made for the car that we have was made online. If Ashley hadn't had access to that, she wouldn't have been able to fill out the loan application for the car that we drive. College applications are online. Absolutely, great point. You just can't deny it to people anymore. And if that's the case, if the internet and access to it itself is something that should be enshrined as a right in this country, which I think it absolutely should, I think it should be appended to the First Amendment. If that's true, then everything I'm saying about Twitter is also true. Time for some regulation. It's time for the government to step in and tell Twitter that it can't just remove somebody's access to their public officials and private corporations based on not liking what they're saying. Twitter already offers robust tools for anybody that doesn't want to hear speech to block another user. And I'm totally fine with that. If you want to fucking, somebody can have a bullhorn out on the street corner, and if you don't want to listen to it, you can fucking walk the other way. That's a principle of free speech. It doesn't guarantee you a fucking platform. What it does guarantee you is the right to fucking voice that speech. And that's what Twitter's taking from people. David Duke still has a Twitter. Yeah. David Duke. Who's that other fucking white nationalist dork? Richard Spencer. All these other people actually out there fucking purveying hate still have a Twitter account, but somehow TJ the Amazing Atheist was... See, this is because it's an arbitrary system of rules that's applied unevenly. Period. Needs to be regulated. The government needs to step in and guarantee access. Of course I'm an authoritarian. Do I talk like a guy that sounds like somebody that thinks people can be trusted to know what's in their best interests? No. What about what I've been talking about here leads you to believe that I'm anything but an authoritarian? I'm calling for the government to intercede in the affairs of a private corporation and guarantee a platform of freedom of speech in the online space. You're damn right. History wouldn't keep repeating itself if they could be trusted. I wholeheartedly agree. You're damn right I'm an authoritarian. People can't be trusted. People can't be trusted. This libertarian streak that people have is misguided and can be applied in their personal lives to a great extent. But when it comes to public affairs, people cannot be trusted to know what's good for themselves. They've got to have learned people to tell them what's right and wrong. That's always been the case. People need strong leadership so that they don't run astray. I agree. I don't see regulation as authoritarian position. It's more like common sense. I don't think of it as starkly authoritarian either, but other people paint it that way, and I am an authoritarian, so. Does democracy work? Pure democracy definitely doesn't work. I'd say that our kind of branched democracy, our kind of representative democracy could work under the right conditions, or might work with a redesign or a restructure. I don't think it works as it currently exists. I advocate for a complete rebuilding of our system from the ground up with, you know, freedom of expression and civil liberties in mind from the get-go, with the modern world in mind from the get-go. I've always advocated for such. I have very little faith in the modern system of representative democracy that we live under. You sound like Socrates. Well, I've read Socrates, so he had a profound influence on my worldview. Would you support a revolution? I don't support violence of any kind. So I would not support a violent and armed revolution. I don't think that that ends with us in a better place. Now, a revolution in the way that people think, absolutely. A revolution in what people demand and expect from their government, absolutely. Now, some people don't think of those things as revolutions. I think they can be every bit as revolutionary as picking up a gun and going and fighting a tyrannical government or whatever the fuck. Standing up for yourselves, you know, creating a common atmosphere of demand from your government, putting our government in check, reasserting our power in electing these officials, taking it back from these lobbyists and corporations that have robbed it from us for decades and generations in this country. I think all of that could be done without shedding a single drop of blood, or at least without most people shedding any blood at all, or having any blood shed upon them. I think a revolution of thought and peaceful resistance is totally possible. So yeah, I support that kind of a revolution. I don't support anybody picking up a gun and pointing it at another human being. Do you think we could have that if the internet was more free and open? I think that that would be a sign that we were trying to make that. I think that that is a step ladder that needs to happen for us to get to what I'm talking about. Absolutely, yes. Reform and peaceful means fails 99% of the time. Violence is necessary evil for radical change. I disagree. I disagree, and I cite the I just cite the general sea change that's happened in America since the 1950s as an example of that. Now, I'm not just talking about the racial thing. There was certainly violence on both sides of that, but largely the civil rights movement in America was a movement of peaceful resistance, and it worked. So, you know, you're never going to convince me that people can't do that. I'm also a union child, so I grew up watching and attending protests of companies that were treating their employees wrong, that were violating union-protected rights of their employees. And I watched people picket out in front of businesses until their demands were met, peacefully, without ever taking out a club and beating it over anybody's head, just standing out in front of a business with a mass of people and some signs and informing the general public how this business was doing wrong by its workers in an embarrassing way that made that company want to meet demands to make it stop. I saw that happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over as a kid. So you're never going to convince me that you have to take out a gun or a knife or a bat to get fucking anything done. In my experience, the people that have made profound change in things that looked like they were hopeless have all been nonviolent. I'm a preacher of nonviolence. My ideal economic system would not be an economic system at all. It would be a far future resource-based economy that was based around providing a baseline income for every single person and having that income be freely available, providing the ability to move freely around the planet for every human being, to live wherever you wanted and have a utilitarian apartment that meets your needs and allows you to establish yourself and pursue your dreams. So I advocate for the complete abolishment of capitalistic economics. I think that it's an idea that has shown its ugly side enough to know that it's not going to work going forward. We need to stop thinking about human beings as things that have to justify their existence with petty labor, because that's not what a human being is. I'm sorry to tell you guys that, but a human being is not his job. A human being is not his ability or desire to work a normal job. A human being is a fucking human being. So we need to stop treating people like they have to justify their fucking existence by trading away a profound chunk of their life to a corporation that treats them like shit. Fuck that. I'm over it. I'm over it. So, yeah, I don't advocate for any kind of system of modern economics. I think it all needs to be just completely plowed under. We need a new idea. We need a new way forward. Absolutely, Goddess Fair Whisper. People should never have to justify existing because they never chose to do it. Every human being is a valuable member of our species. Every human being's mind is its prison. Every human being suffers and cries and wants and needs, no matter what kind of fucking mental disorder they have or what kind of outward appearance they keep. Every human being is a valid fucking member of our species, no matter how fucked up they are. And the sooner people start treating it that way, the better we're all gonna be. Animals are valued members of our fucking ecosystem, and the sooner we start treating it that way, the better off we're all gonna be. What do you think of abortion? I don't like it. I don't like when people use it as a weird form of birth control. I don't like it. But that doesn't mean that I think that women should be restricted from doing it. I would never stand in front of a woman and say, I don't like what you're doing, so you can't make the decision that you're about to make. That's just not in me. But I'm not a big proponent of it as a birth control method. I think women should have access if it's what they decide to do. But I don't like it. What would the ultimate home in this utopia look like technology-wise? I mean, we're talking about a time that doesn't exist yet, but I had the very, very distinct pleasure, and if you'll allow me to go off on a fucking rant here, I had the very distinct pleasure of living in Bellevue, Washington, which is one of the most expensive zip codes in the United States. And I had the very, very distinct pleasure of living in a modern apartment building that was right at the heart of a modernly designed city center. and I saw a way of living that should be exported everywhere, where instead of building out, we build up. We create these great apartment buildings that are all so centrally located that owning a car is just not even a need. We back that with one of the best public transportation systems that I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. We're talking about monorail trams and fucking a bus system that runs like clockwork and takes you anywhere you need to go in the fucking whole area. I saw a way of living that was so profoundly different from anywhere I'd ever lived. Anywhere I'd ever lived. And it's because they built up. The future for me is stopping this stupid ass fucking flight out from these city centers, reinvesting that money and building up and creating these vibrant communities of people where everything is within walking distance. And if it's not, you can get on a bus and get to it. And I see there being these kind of apartments that are just made to be nice. Maybe they're sparse and utilitarian in a way, but you can decorate them with some of your discretionary income that you're guaranteed or whatever. You know, that you can go to any of these cities. If you want to try and live in Bangladesh or London, you can go and live in these kind of smaller apartments and establish a life for yourself, build a trade. And then if you want to live in a larger place, you can work a trade that gives you more access to resources. So you've got more choices. It still allows people to climb that personal achievement ladder. That's what people always try and get in front of. When I talk about abolishing currency and moving to a different kind of society, they go like, well, without the profit motive, nobody will create anything cool. What about Jonas Salk? What about any of the other people that have made these discoveries and decided not to monetize them and instead give them to people? See, who? Exactly. You don't know who Jonas Salk is? You should thank him for being here because he saved the world. And he could have become a billionaire off the back of it, and he decided to give it away for free. Oh. That one was not a phone call. That one was Paul's iPhone overheating because I'm sitting outside in Louisiana in the middle of fucking August. Whoops. But I just put it in the freezer for a minute and everything's fine. You guys were actually, while the stream was down, you were literally in the freezer. You guys were chilling in the motherfucking freezer. So I don't know how you feel about that, but that's the truth of your existence. You motherfuckers was in the freezer. But whatever, it worked. Everything's cool now. I'm inside where there's air conditioning, which is probably where I should have been anyway. Although I just really like sitting outside here. But I probably shouldn't be ranting and raving like I am out where people can hear me. You know, people probably don't want to listen to my salty ass scream and yell about futurism and shit. Anyway, GMOs are awesome. I agree, dude. I'm calling bullshit. Just another fantasy in which someone doesn't know enough people to understand that the masses would take advantage of such a system. Just another person that thinks that, like, the world is gonna end if capitalism ends. I don't know, dude. It's on its way out, bro, and you'd probably do well to start thinking about the replacement. Stream from the freezer. What? No, everything's fine. I can still see you guys. There might be some lagginess happening. I don't know, but you froze our peach. Yeah, I threw you guys in the freezer, dude. I genuinely did. Maybe I need to do it again. If it's like locking up for you guys again, I might need to just end this or put you guys in the freezer. But it seems to be fine for me. I'm not getting any bullshit. I'm not not getting any bullshit. Dude, it wasn't either. See, that's weird. You guys are got like some weird huge lag spike that I didn't get. Yeah, that's weird. Like usually it tells me but I was just talking away and it looked like everything was fine. Usually it gives me some kind of feedback if the connection is poor or some shit. I wasn't seeing any of that, so that was just some weird YouTube shit. Everything seems to be okay. I think the phone's okay. It might be too hot. I mean, if it dies again, I'll just end the stream or whatever the fuck. Why did I quit my diet? I mean, it's not an excuse, but my house burned down. My life became a fucking insane whirlwind of moving and travel because I had already, funded a fucking meetup that was going to happen no matter what. So I just, my ability to like responsibly eat keto shit went out the window in favor of being able to just eat real quick so that I could get back to putting back together the pieces of my fucking crazy burnt out life. And I've languished honestly for way too long getting back on the diet. So I plan on shopping with Ashley during her next day off here so that we can go and start getting some stuff again and just get back on the fucking horse because I don't want to gain back all the weight that I've lost. And at this point, I haven't gained any weight back. So that's a good thing. But I haven't lost any weight in the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is pretty disappointing. But I want to get back on the horse. Try my new only bread diet. It's really cool and definitely does something you want. Cool, bro. All right, I'll do that right now. I'll get on the bread only diet. Yeah, dude. How could I stick to keto if I never had a pool? I missed a super chat. Okay, let me check that shit out. Do you see what happens, Larry? Yeah, do you see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry? How different would the world be if Alex Jones was right about everything? Would it be scary or cool? I think you know the answer to that question, don't you? Alex Jones has said that there are literal packs of literal vampires running around stealing children and sucking their blood. There are like huge international pedophile rings that are trading thousands of children across borders and shit. I mean, that shit might actually be true. I don't know, but like, yeah, I think it would be a very scary world indeed. Literal pot-bellied hobgoblins. Yeah, I think it'd be scary as fuck, guys. No doubt about that. Oh man, I really wish I could find a consistently working dark mode. Because some of these fucking websites just like blow my eyes to shreds. Like this shit. Dark mode. Ugh. Eyeballs, man. Oh man, turn off the blue light filter. I don't have any filters. It's just my monitors are all around me here. Hello, Father. Take a. Oh yeah, my orange glasses. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, man. You just reminded me of something that actually helps. Yeah, baby. Hopefully this will stop the building migraine. These actually help me when I have flux. Maybe I need to get it. Yeah, I don't think I have it here. You're right. I should probably get it for these monitors, especially these. Alex Jones was right about everything, that nothing changes unless he's offering solutions, which he doesn't, besides being paranoid. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it does become a world where there's literal vampires running around and shit. You look like a Russian hacker. Da! My name is Zero Cool. I'm hacking the DHS as we speak. I'm circumventing their firewall. Building a GUI in Visual Basic to circumvent their as I hack the DHS. Okay? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here is the DHS database, okay? Here is the DHS database, and I will start to hack now. You can see that I am circumventing access denied. Well, this will happen, you know. I'm circumventing their lines of defense by injecting a, oh, excuse me, I've accidentally opened stupid windows. Stupid windows. I did not want this. I was trying to do a complex keystroke. Anyway, here we go. We are getting there. Oh, I need to speed up here. See, I'm being traced. I'm being traced. I'm having a trace now, so I'm trying to circumvent their trace and bouncing my signal off of many remote terminals in many different remote places. This will make it take longer for them to pinpoint my location. Okay, we're good. All right, here we go. Yes, we are safe now. We are safe now. We've safely circumnavigated their security system, and I now have access to their mainframe 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. One more line of code should do. Here we go, and parse that, and we are done. So as you can see, I am the real deal. I am the real deal. I'm the real deal, okay? I am the Russian that made your election system a puppet of the great Vladimir Putin. I am the one that handed the election to the buffoon that Vladimir Putin has videotape of piss going into his mouth. It was me. I admit, it was me. Would I have these glasses if I were lying? Would I have these glasses if I were lying? I think not. Well, Paul, ignoring me worked. You're clearly an ideologue who doesn't actually believe what you claim to believe, as you can't answer basics and don't live what you advocate. Peace out. Oh, see ya, bro. Oh, man. Holy shit, dude. Wow. Cringe factor 5, dude. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. We need to go faster, Scott. Aye, aye, Captain. Dude, man, I haven't seen somebody that ass mad in a long time. Whee! That's a fun thing, dude. I love that feeling, that little rush of ass mad that comes out of somebody else. Oh, boy. That's a troll. Well, whatever. Yeah, he was a funny troll then. I approve of his trolling. Oh, that was awesome, man. Sorry, just hacking some more shit. Ever speak to your old friend, the Fifth Watcher? I haven't talked to him in a long time. I'm trying to remember. This actually helped to stop a migraine, so thank you, orange glasses. He actually reached out. I can't remember when it was. It was a while ago. But we had a back and forth again. He's a cool dude. Like he and I, whatever. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of things philosophically. At least we didn't back in the day. Maybe we do now. But you know, we managed to bridge that gap and become buddies. So that's cool. But yeah, I haven't heard from him in a long time. Hack DB and make it better. Hack DB and make it better. Let's all shit on Paul and make fat jokes and call him salty. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's do it, dude. Let's do it. I wasn't as funny as the night you lost it arguing about my grammar when you clearly were wrong. What, dude? Dude, man, you remember some shit like you remember some shit from like 200 shows ago or something? Some salty interchange that you and me have, and that's why you're still here trying to like bark up this tree every day, dude. That's really that's really what's going on with you? Like, hold on, let me just get this straight, dude. You and I had some kind of salt-laden argument like 200 shows ago, and ever since then, you've been trying to get my fucking attention and been trying to fucking disprove every little thing that I say because you're mad about getting in a little fight with me that I don't even fucking remember from an episode I won't ever see again or think about again. Is that really what's going on here, Broseph? Man, that's not a good look. You might want to here, dude, let me just tell you something, man. Whatever that argument was, I forgive and forget. I've clearly already forgotten. Didn't need to forgive, but if you need that from me, I forgive. You might want to find another focus for your time and energy and shit. We don't have to be enemies. We can be frenemies if you want. We don't have to fight each other if you don't want to. I don't have anything against you. I don't even recognize your name. So I'm not going to apologize for something I don't remember doing. Like, if he's wanting to drag an apology out of me, I don't even know who you are, dude. But we can be buds if you want. We can be cool. We can talk like adults and stuff, and you can not be a crybaby and be salty about it and shit. Please read super chat. Okay, I can do that. Super chat, super chat. Remember Boba screwed Little Pump to death. Oh, wow. I really wish you hadn't pointed me to that super chat. In fact, whoever pointed me to that super chat, I'm going to time them out. Let's see, who was it? Because, yeah, that's a super chat that I could have just ignored for all time. Oh, it's Morgan. Oh, you were pointing me to your own super chat. Okay. Well, whatever. I guess you can do that. As long as it's not somebody else that was trying to get me to read that fucking utter stupid ass fucking bullshit. But yeah, just so you know, yeah, if your super chat is utter nonsense, there's a good chance I'll just ignore it. And saying super chat over and over in the fucking chat is not going to get me to read it. Just so you know. What, you don't remember I Blame Society out of the hundreds of accounts you see every day? Dude, I see more than hundreds. There's 300 people in here alternately. I do 2 of these a day sometimes. I do, I have a Twitter with, I don't know how many followers now, 21,000 or some shit. I'm on the fucking DFF Discord chilling with more anonymous accounts. Dude, my whole life is being buried in anonymous people, so... The fact that this dude thinks that I remember some fucking argument that we had at some point that may or may have not taken place is kind of sad to me. It insinuates that he doesn't understand how this works and what his place in it all is and stuff, and I feel bad for him for that, so I don't want him to be mad because of that, We can be buds if you want, but as far as what you're barking, you're yapping at me about, I don't have anything to say about it, dude. I don't have any apologies for you. I don't give a fuck. I told Ashley that I was oh, you're Louisiana, Paul. All right, I'll just let you speak for yourself then, because you're me. IBS, hey, Pool, your salt, cause argument I lost, you don't remember. Yeah, that's me. That's me, dude. Holy shit. Favorite fruit? Fruit by the foot. People who are expecting people to remember you on the internet confuse it. I mean, whatever. Like, I remember some of you guys. Like, some of you guys are common like members of the chat that I've dipped to a bunch of times and stuff. So some of you have like distinguished yourselves and are memorable to me. A lot of people that distinguish themselves in that way end up being mods in this chat because I like what they've contributed in some way, shape, or form. But there are just a profound number of people to whom that doesn't apply, and it's not because I'm trying to ignore them or trying to be an asshole that doesn't remember people. It's just because I have a limited capacity to remember weird fucking internet names with a bunch of symbols in them and shit that scroll past me all day, every day. Like, I have a limited number of slots in my fucking head for knowing who people are. I'm sorry, dude. I've read you a bunch of times, Grand Duke of Mecklenburg-Schwerin, dude. I've read you a bunch of times. Why you say I'm ignoring you now? Why like I actually recognize you as a dude that's in here a lot. You're right, you do spew nothing but nonsense, but I like nonsense sometimes, so you know what I mean? You're a dude I remember. You're not obligated to give people attention, my lord. Well, I mean, I kind of am in this place, but I can't give everybody attention. You know, I'm one dude. What a life. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Good night, everybody.